Let's see here. We got a question from Srinivas who asks, what are your thoughts on the crypto ETF GBTC? Now, I don't know yet, but I am
I
going
do, and I
to
would love to take that one.
GBTC. Okay, well, go for it.
That is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust.
There you go.
Right now, there are no Bitcoin mutual funds or ETFs. They are the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is intended to kind of fill that gap until the SEC actually approves a Bitcoin-based ETF. It's a way for people to get exposure to Bitcoin without actually having to buy it. It works kind of like a fund where they pool investors' money and buy Bitcoin. The problem is it trades at a massive premium to the value of the Bitcoin it owns, like in the 20 to 30% range usually. I haven't checked it recently, but it historically is traded for at least a 20 to 30% premium over the value of the underlying Bitcoin. So if you
Why
want
do
to
you think
invest,
that's the case? Why do you think it would do that?
at first I think it was because Bitcoin was difficult to buy, and it's still not that easy to buy as some other assets. So it trades at a massive premium, and Grayscale takes a 2% fee per year for storing the Bitcoin. So that's what a 2% management fee is a pretty high fee in the ETF and mutual fund world.
That is, yeah.
So it's the costs and the premium make it. I'd stay away. There are a few situations when I would recommend buying actual Bitcoin, but that's one of them. And if it's between that and buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, I wonder if it's. I mean, as funds do. I mean, funds make investing more accessible for a lot of folks, and maybe the demand for shares of that fund are higher than the value simply because, like you said, I mean, people feel like it's an easier way to actually get hold of the underlying asset without having to actually own the asset. Most people can't really, necessarily go out there and buy Bitcoin without knowing a thing or two. Although platforms like Square and PayPal are certainly making it a lot easier.
And I mean, if you look at the like ETFs that own gold, for example, like they have management fees because it costs money to store and secure and things like that.
Yeah,
they generally trade at somewhat of a premium to the value of the gold that they own, not 20 to 30%, but somewhat of a premium. So it's just the costs are kind of, in my mind, outrageous for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust.
what's the cost for storing? I mean, I understand the costs involved with hunting for Bitcoin, right? The cost involved for mining for Bitcoin, but what's the cost for storing it? Like, isn't that just memory?
There's a lot of cybersecurity measures that need to be taken, a lot of equipment that needs to be bought. I mean, you have to, if you want to keep your Bitcoin in cold storage, meaning offline storage, you need somewhere to actually do that. So I mean, it's not giant costs, but it's you need computing equipment. You need if you're holding billions of dollars in Bitcoin, you need some of the best cybersecurity operations in the world helping you out with that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you don't want that hacked and lost. I mean, if you remember in the early days of cryptocurrency, you would hear about a breach at an exchange almost every other week, where like $100 million of cryptocurrency just vanished and stuff like that. So you don't want that to happen. So there's security costs. It's like storing gold. You have to pay for the vault to keep it in and stuff like that. So I mean, there are costs associated with it. It's not 2%, and that's why that's how they make a profit. But there is some cost to actually storing and keeping gold, and as more investors put their money in, they have to buy Bitcoin, which there's fees with that too. So
yeah, that's a good point.
there are costs associated with it.